Huge shout out goes out to our current channel members. If you're interested in gaining a channel membership, then feel free to head over to my channel profile and click the join button. Also, we do have a Ninjago Discord server. It's a great way to communicate with myself and many others. For more details on that, click the very first link at the very top of the description of this video.
Ninjago Prime Empire is a strange case, because if you think about it, at first, as it was first airing, and during the first few months after it had initially aired during 2020, it was pretty beloved. But fast forward to the now, and I wouldn't say it's completely beloved in the same way that it was back when it was new. In fact, I think that the opinions on this season are kind of mixed for a fair few reasons. But whatever you'd like to say about Prime Empire, me personally, I have had also kind of a love-hate relationship with it, but recently, every single time I actually go ahead and rewatch Prime Empire, for some reason, I don't know what it is, I just end up liking it more and more. And so I felt as though today would be pretty much the perfect time to go ahead and talk about Prime Empire as a season overall, and talk about the fact that, yeah, I actually really love Prime Empire, and on top of that today, I would like to talk about what I personally believe makes it such a great and solid Ninjago season. Obviously, all of this is going to be my own personal opinion, so whether you agree or disagree, I hope that you guys are able to take something away from today's video, and are able to understand maybe a new perspective and new take on things. But, with all of this being said, let's fast forward with this intro and cut straight to some of the reasons as to why I believe, at least, Ninjago Prime Empire is a very great Ninjago season. Now, when making a video on why a specific season is great or bad, you know, it doesn't really matter either way, but obviously, in this case, I'm talking about the good stuff. I think it's important to just start with the overall reason, right? This is the overall summary as to why I like this season, and then once I've got this out of the way, we're going to be diving into more specifics, I suppose you could say. But I have to get this out of the way first. And I love the strange simplicity of it. It is almost kind of very simple in a way. I mean, at the same time, I suppose there are more confusing and strange elements, but at heart, I would label this season as, again, kind of a strange, simple season. There is a threat inside of a video game, right? People are disappearing into said video game, therefore, our heroes, in this case, the ninja, must immediately go and investigate inside of the game to rescue all of these people and stop another tragic accident like this from happening again. It's a very simple premise, yet it still does work very nicely in my opinion. Simple yet effective, I suppose, is probably the best way of summing up this season. And sure, while this isn't really your stereotypical ninja story, Ninjago has never really been one for stereotypical ninja stories, but if you are only here for Ninjago, for, again, those more classic down-to-earth ninja stories, then I can already understand why some of you guys may write off the season as bad or just weird, but overall I kind of like just how wacky it is. That's how I see things. Obviously there are definitely multiple perspectives out there on how you can perceive this specific season, or any season in general, so I can definitely understand the other side to Prime Empire being maybe a little bit on the weird side, because ninja really do not belong in digital video games, fighting evil, and NPCs and all of that kind of stuff. So I definitely do understand that side of things, but for me personally, in my own perspective on this, I like that a lot, and I like how, again, kind of simple this is. There's a threat in a video game, ninja go into said video game, shut things down, and save the day. It really does work in my personal opinion. There is another thing I would like to talk about here, and that is the focus on the NPC-type characters within the game. And they are great too, in my opinion, and this is probably going to be one of the more controversial takes in this entire video, because, despite what some may say, I would rather have kind of a focus on the NPC characters than have a main ninja focus. Now, does that mean that LEGO marketing this as a J season is a good thing? No, not at all, actually. In fact, I really wish that on the box art, for example, they would have put maybe Okina and Racer 7 on there just to kind of symbolize the fact that this really is their season and this is their time to shine, because overall the J focus only truly happens towards the very end of the season. Like, I'm talking the last few minutes of the finale. Other than that, what did Jay really do? I mean, sure, he did guide the ninja through the video game, but there was no proper focus on him, again, until right at the end, when he kind of sympathized with Unagami and not knowing his parents. That was definitely a great scene, but is it enough to warrant Jay on the box art? No, not at all. It's definitely not really a J season, so the fact that it was marketed as that is kind of silly in my personal opinion. Still though, I can understand why they did it, you know, with real life LEGO marketing and all of that kind of stuff. But at the end of the day, yeah, it really was an NPC type season, and by that I mean, you know, Okino and Racer 7, those type of characters, because they really had the spotlight in this particular season, in my opinion. Again, another controversial take, but the episode titled I Am Okino, episode 5 of this season, was literally perfect in my opinion, and it is still such a great watch, even to this day, in my personal opinion. I absolutely loved seeing the day-to-day life of Okino, a character that is essentially part of the video game and isn't a real character that was, you know, trapped from the outside. No, he was created alongside this game to help the real people kind of traverse through the game, and so seeing him essentially fight the programming was great. As for Racer 7 though, I do still like her arc, but at the same time it's almost like she felt as though she was kind of like an Okino rip-off in a few areas, but still at the end of the day I did quite like her character and the direction they specifically took with her, and also how she reacted to Lloyd telling her, just face on, that she was part of the game and wasn't real in that way. It was definitely great, and again, the NPCs really made this season what it was, in my personal opinion. Unagami is another topic I would like to touch on. He could have done with some work here and there, but I mean, overall, I suppose he did serve as a solid villain, especially for a season like this, with the whole battling his own identity kind of stuff. Him just wanting answers was quite a nice twist as well, because for the rest of the season, you know, we were led to believe that this guy was just some form of insane menace and just wanted power and wanted to take over the world, basically, after he had already taken over Prime Empire. So having that kind of switch up towards the end was great, and also the fact that he's kind of turned into a child towards the end was great symbolism of Unagami's character overall, just further symbolising how innocent he truly is, and how he never really wanted any of this, but it was the result of what the other people around him had done, and it was their decisions that led Unagami to this path of evil and just kind of distress indirectly. It was great in my opinion, and again, Unagami was a great villain for this particular season. The themes are incredible as well. Of course though, as absolutely everything here is centred around a video game, basically all of the theming is, well, duh, it's video game related. Everything is colourful, vibrant, and simply put, it's fun. The inspirations and callbacks to real video games are great too, and help make the season and the actual game they are in feel a whole lot more immersive, providing just a better experience to us, the viewers overall. Seeing all of the different scenery and all of the video game-esque elements to it were great. For example, when the ninja kick on the ground or something, or they're running through grass, the actual mud, dust kind of effect is that of cubes. It just further emphasises the fact that they're in a video game and it looks great. The same can be said for all of the blocky trees throughout different parts of it as well. It was great overall seeing this, and it definitely was a time for Ninjago to get extra creative with what it is they do and the art direction they take in some of its seasons. Prime Empire is a very perfect example of this. On top of literally all of this though, this is probably one of the more controversial parts of today's video. I actually like how disconnected the season is. It's something that I don't usually say because I'm usually an advocate for actual, you know, stories that follow the other story, the last one, so that they all feel more interconnected. That's what I like. And although the Ninjago definitely is not the best example of doing this overall, well, it does do that sometimes. For example, the Oni trilogy, and some of the Wild Brain era, although not all of it. But Prime Empire is a very good standalone season, in my opinion. I like it. It's like its own complete adventure. It's fun, and can easily stand on its own two legs and remain solid despite, again, as I say here, not truly being connected to anything else. And again, I know I may catch some flack for saying this even in the first place, but this is something I have actually thought for some time, and is something I'm confident I will continue to stand on moving forward. This isn't something I used to believe in, but after rewatching Prime Empire more and more, it's something that I can say with such confidence, which is another true reason as to why I think Prime Empire is truly one of the great when it comes to Ninjago seasons overall. So with that being said, with the word overall just being mentioned as well, we come towards the end of this video. Overall, I liked Prime Empire. Is it the best season out there? No, not at all. You've got great seasons out there that are a lot better than Prime Empire. But is it its own great standalone story in the Ninjago franchise? Yes, absolutely. Hence why I'm making today's video in the first place. Prime Empire will always have a special place in my heart. It came out during the pandemic, it's entertained all of us for what it was, and again, love or hate it, I hope that you guys were able to take something away from today's video, and were able to understand my own personal thoughts on Prime Empire, and why I personally believe, again, it is one of the great Ninjago seasons out there. But, with all of this being said guys, I do turn it over to all of you now. please feel free to leave any of your own thoughts on all of this down below in that comment section. I would love to hear your own thoughts regarding all of this. As always though, if you did enjoy today's video, please do leave a like on it, subscribe to the channel for more, and hit the notification bell so that you behind the screen there, yes you that I'm looking right at you, can keep up to date on all things Ninjago here on the channel. And with all of this being said guys, I will catch you all soon for a new one. Well, goodbye everybody, see you all very very soon.